Pete the Cat. Crayons Rock by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete loves his big box of groovy crayons. He loves to draw things like cars, trucks, flowers, and trees. But most of all, the big blue sea. From rockin' red to cool cat blue, with a box of crayons, there's nothing Pete can't do. One day, Pete decided to draw something new. His friends! Using lots of color is so much fun. Pete wanted to use every one. He scribbled and drew a great big smile. His drawings were groovy and rockin' with style. Crayons rock! Pete was proud of the pictures he drew. He hoped his friends would dig them too. Pete showed Grumpy Toad first. Grumpy Toad said, "This doesn't look right. Those colors are way too bright." Pete thought, "Hey, no sweat. That's all right. The next one will be dynamite." For Gus, from Pete. Pete showed Gus his picture too. Gus asked, "Who is this supposed to be? It doesn't really look like me." Pete thought, "Hey, no sweat. That's all right. The next one will be just right." For Callie, from Pete. Pete finally showed Callie her picture. Callie said, "This one is fine, but it feels like something's missing from mine." Pete said, "What a mess!" Bummer, I guess my drawings aren't the best. Pete started to frown. He put his crayons down. In art class, the teacher asked, "Pete, what are you going to make?" "I don't know. I'm afraid of making a mistake." Pete looked around. Gus drew the coolest superheroes. Callie's flowers were awesome, out of sight. Grumpy's motorcycle was just right. Pete's heart sank. His paper was blank. His paper was blank. The gang looked at Pete and said, "No sweat. It's all right. It doesn't have to be just right. Your art is cool because it's you. Your art is so unique. Grab your groovy box of crayons and show us your technique." The teacher agreed. Art should be fun. Art is for everyone. From rockin' red to cool cat blue, with a box of crayons, there's nothing you can't do. Pete smiled. There are no rules. It's no big deal. Art is about how it makes you feel. Pete loved his cool art. That's the one thing Pete knew. Suddenly, Pete knew exactly what to do. He tried again. Instead of drawing them one by one, Pete drew the whole gang, just having fun. "Way to go, Pete! That's a rockin' masterpiece!" Grumpy Toad, Gus, and Callie agreed. Pete's picture was off the charts. See? That's the groovy thing about art. The best art comes from the heart. Crayons rock! The end.